Hey Brew Crew, welcome back to my A to Z series going through my favorite games for each letter in the alphabet. Today we're going to jump right in with the letter N. My N game on this list is Nidavellir. This game has very little theme, and the points are all scored through a fairly simple set collection. The bidding is really where this game shines. Players are going to start with 5 coins of different values. They're going to place 3 of these coins onto different locations to win the right to draft a card from that location first. The other 2 coins are set aside for the round unless you happen to have paid bids, 0 on one of the locations. Then you're actually going to total up the amount of the 2 coins that you've set aside and swap one of your coins out with that total value coin from the supply. This is going to give you the ability to bid higher in future rounds. This is really where the hook of this game is, because you're going to be trying to time things out just right to get the cards you need while also trying to figure out when is a good time to bid 0 so that you can upgrade your coins. It's a really clever mechanism from the late great designer Serge Leger. Definitely go check out Nidavellir. My O game is Orleans. This game spent a fair amount of time in my top 5 when it was first released, and while it's dropped a little bit since then, I still have a lot of fun playing this game. If you're not familiar, Orleans is the quintessential bag building game where you are acquiring tokens representing different villagers, putting them into a bag, and then drawing them out of the bag and placing them on spaces to gain more villagers, travel the map, build trading posts, and collect goods. Besides the villagers, you'll also be adding new buildings to your player board, which will give you more choices of places that you can send your villagers to generate goods and money. If you decide to pick up this game, I highly recommend grabbing the Trade and Intrigue expansion to go with it. It makes the Town Hall action much more interesting, as well as adding contract cards that can be fulfilled as you travel around the map. Still one of my favorite games, Orleans. My game for the letter P is one of the few real-time games that I actually enjoy, and that's Project Elite. In this game, you're going to be chucking dice as fast as possible, trying to kill off wave after wave of invading aliens. I think the reason that this real-time game appeals to me more than others is that it gives me a moment to pause and strategize before ramping back up again. Real-time games tend to be pretty high stress, and luckily most of the ones that I've played so far have been pretty short. Project Elite breaks down these high-stress moments into 2-minute bursts, followed by a short pause for upkeep, during which you're actually able to take a breath and discuss strategy. It's difficult, it's thematic, it's exciting. It's pretty much exactly what I would want from this type of game. So that's my letter P game, Project Elite. The letter Q was a bit tricky, but I ended up settling on an older title from Queen Games, and that's Queen's Architect. This game has a really unique mechanism that I haven't seen done in any other game, and if there is one out there, please let me know because I'd love to try more. That's the idea that the strength of your workers will change from round to round. Each of your craftspeople are represented by a hexagonal tile with a different value at each of the points. When you put that craftsperson to work, you're going to rotate that tile, and maybe now they're tired and will produce at a lower value, or maybe they found inspiration and their values will continue to increase. Also, once a worker has been rotated to a certain point, they're going to leave your workforce. This whole idea of trying to get the best out of your people before they leave is super interesting. This isn't a game I hear talked about too often. I'm not sure that it ever got very popular, but I think it's really clever, and I really enjoy playing Queen's Architect. Opposite of the letter Q is the letter R, where I had a ton of great games to choose from. In the end, I definitely went with Rajas of the Ganges. Rajas is a fantastic dice worker placement game with a lot of options for strategy. Ultimately, you're going to be collecting tiles to put down on your province to increase your wealth and fame. This was the first game that I had played with an overlapping point track concept. So wealth and fame are scored on separate tracks going in opposite directions, and you want to get these two tracks to meet or overlap by the most in order to win. This was such a cool concept to me when I first heard about it, and after playing it, I fell in love with it. Mix that with one of my favorite mechanisms of dice worker placement, and Rajas has earned a long-term residence on my shelf. My S game is another older title and can probably be considered a classic at this point, and that's San Juan. This card game shares a lot of DNA with the much-loved Race for the Galaxy, but is definitely much simpler and much easier to get to the table. This is Puerto Rico the card game, where instead of having a board and tiles and resources, these things are all going to be represented by cards. You'll be trying to create an engine with your cards that will let you get bigger and better cards to play in front of you to generate points. I think if you've ever been interested in Race for the Galaxy but were intimidated by the iconography, maybe give San Juan a try. The two games are very similar gameplay-wise, but San Juan is just more pure and approachable option. Okay, Brew Crew, we are going to go out on an epic note today. My letter T game is Twilight Imperium. Now, I've only ever played 4th edition, but when we started to play it, we fell in love with it to the point that it became a once-a-month game for us. I can't think of any other game that has given me the kind of experience that Twilight Imperium has. There's combat, there's negotiation, there's politics, and yeah, it takes a long time to play, but in this game, that's exactly what I want. The hours that I'm sitting at the table with my friends playing this game seem to just fly by. And over those hours, you're definitely going to be experiencing a whole range of emotions as well. My copy already has a lot of wear from the amount of play that it's gotten, and I already can't wait to schedule our next TI day. Alright everyone, that's it for this segment. Thanks so much for watching everyone. Please make sure to keep an eye out for the final segment in this series coming soon. And until next time, let's get another round for the table. Hey everybody, don't forget to like and comment on this video. If you found value in this video at all, it would mean a lot to us if you consider subscribing to the channel as well. Don't forget to click the notification button so you'll know when we put out a new video. Cheers!